So hi guys, so in the last class like we got an error over here, right? That is while we were using the navigational methods we got a error. So what are the navigation methods that we were using? That is nothing but first, last, highest, lowest, selling and flooring. So these were the methods that we were using. So we got a error over here, so we got an error. So why we got a error over here, in the sense like we were using this set, okay, we were using the set class. Because why we got an error, we cannot use this set class because this set class does not give the order output. So see, for example, I'll just run and show this. I'll even comment this line. I'll just print that using the print statement. So see, this is not in the order format. So when you are not inserting in the order format, so you will not be able to use that the navigational methods. So whenever it is in the, so just I'll write a comment over here. Note that cannot use the navigational operators in the unordered set. Okay, so what are the possibilities that at that time you will get? So I'll make this as the same thing. So I'll comment this. So this one I should make either as a sorted set, or else I'll be making it as tree set itself. So I'll also comment this and I'll create a new one, that is tree set. I'll take integer and I'll give ts, or I'll give hs only, the reference variable as hs is equals to new tree set. Okay, also you can do this as the sorted set also. Okay, you can take the class of sorted set also, but here I am taking the tree set only. Why I am taking tree set? It will be orderly assigned. So see, when I use tree set, that is when I use tree set, the data will be in the ascending order, right? So for that, see, I've got the output. Example, this is our output, right? So I will be able to do. So at that time, if I use this method, I will be able to access this method. So let us understand the methods. Okay, so you should have either when you can use the navigational operators when it is an ordered set. Okay, you cannot use in the unordered set. You can only use in, that is, you can only use in ordered set. Okay, so here it is in order. Okay, so what I'll be doing, So what is the use of for this first function? So let us first understand all the functions, then later we'll do the example one by one. So what are they telling about over here? So first returns the lowest value, in the sense what they are telling, it will return the lowest value in the array. So here, see, I'll be opening my Eclipse, and when I run, I will call this method which we have written yesterday. So when I call this, it is returning the lowest value, that is the first value, okay, that is 2, okay, it is returning. Similarly, what if we want to write the last value, we will be using the method called last. So first value returns the first value, and the second last value returns the last value. So just I'll use a print statement, and I will print, that is hs dot last. So when I print the last value, I will be able to print the last value in the array. So just I will show you the array also. See, you can see the array. The first value is 2, and the second value is the last value is 80. Okay. So what is the use of the highest? Okay. So it returns the element in the tree set that is which is greater to that same number. So for example, I'll be using print statement, and I'll use that method from I'll use the HS, reference of HS, and I will print it as, if I want 0, highest of 0, that is 2. Okay. Similarly, y I have got here 2. After 0, the highest value is 2. Similarly, if I write here, imagine if I write here 10, after 10, what is the highest value in the array which I am getting? I am getting 40. So it will display the highest value next to it. It will display the highest value next to that. Okay. So if I make this as 50, it will print 60. So 60 is the next highest value. Okay. So similarly, for this you have the lowest value also. So how to print the lowest value? Using the lowest method. Okay. So I'll just have control paste, and I'll just change the method name lowest, and it displays the lowest value next to it. So what is the lowest value next to 50? That is 40. Okay. In the array which is lesser than that, it will display. So coming to the next thing, that is ceiling. So what is the use of this? So it returns the least element in the tree, that is equal to, so just I'll write and show. I'll take a print statement, and I'll print that is hs dot I'll print 2 or I'll print 5. So what will be the output? 7. Okay. So why we have got 7 over here? Let us see. So it returns. So ceiling it returns greater than equal or equals to that method. So it is similar to the highest value only, but it will also return if it is equals to. See here, if I give as 7, it will return 7 only. Why it returns 7? It will return, it will also check whether it is equals to that, or it will if it is not equals to that, it will return the greater number of that. Okay, what is that? It will return the same number if the value is equal to the same element, or returns the next element greater than that element, greater than that element. Okay, greater than that value, I can tell, or element value. So what does it mean? So here, see, if I write 50, I used to get the 60 over here, right? I am getting 60. Why I am getting 60? Because I don't have 50 over here. Suppose what if I write 40 only? I'll not be getting 40, even though at that time I'll be getting 60 only, because it will not compare that same value. But over here, see, if I write 40, it returns the same value. See, it will return the same value. Okay, see here it is returning the same value, but here it is not returning the same value. Okay, similarly, what is the use of floor? Floor also returns the greatest element in the trees, that is less than or equals to okay. So here also same thing. So what does the lowest do? It doesn't return the same element, but here this one will return. I'll just take a print statement and just what is the method name? That is floor method. Why I am getting an error? Okay, floor is equals to, I'll write it as 10. Okay, if the value of 10 is present, it will print 10 only, or else it will print the lowest value. That is, if the value 10 is present, it will print the same value or the next lowest value. Okay, similar to, it is also similar to this only, but it will not print the, it will not compare the same value over here. Okay, that is what the difference. So I think this is clear for you guys. So if you have any doubts about the navigation method, you can just ask. Any doubts? Okay, so coming to the new concept, that is queues. So what is queues first of all? So let us just go through what all the things that we will be learning in the queues. Okay, so coming to the first thing, that is queues. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, I'll just open my big screen. Yeah, so first coming to the concept of queues. So in the queues concept, right, like you will be learning about the priority queue and the linked queue and the array queue. So these are the main queues that which you will be learning now, and also it contains the concurrent linked queues and blocking queues. Inside the blocking queues, like you have more things. Okay, so you don't worry about these things. Like first we will be learning the three concepts first. Okay, so these are like more advanced, so you don't need to worry about these things. So first of all, we'll understand how does the queue works and what is queues. So queues are nothing but, like, it is basically like how does the data structure of that it is means, it will take accept in the principle of the first in and first out. Okay, so first in and the first out, in the sense how it accepts is, I'll just write down and show. See how it accepts, right? See, imagine this is your data which you, how you store first data, second data, third data, fourth data and fifth data. So how you will add, like usually this, imagine this is your front point, that is this is your front point, and this one will be your rear point, that is rear point, and this is your adding point, and this will be your deletion point. So how it will be added, this is like nothing but first in first out. Okay, so whatever the thing data you add, that is the data will be deleted. So if you add one data first over here, that one only, for while deleting this data will only be deleted. Okay, and while adding, you will be adding backside of this. Okay, if you want to add, you can add backside, 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 but whatever the data which you have added first, that data will only be deleted. Okay, this is how this works. So for an example, to explain this, like I can take a linked list. Okay, so I'll be explaining these things using the linked list. So what are some, there are some methods that which you will be using in the queue interfaces. Okay, so what are those methods that we will be using? So we will be using addition, like for add, for adding the elements, and we will be using the what is that, offer method, and we'll be using remove method, and we can also use pull method, and element method, and peak method. So these are some methods that which we will be using. Okay, so and the next thing, so let us go to the example now. So I'll be coming over here, I'll create a new class called queues, called queues. Okay, so inside this queues, so I'll be taking the example for this, what is this linked list. Okay, so I'll explain this linked list how to do. So you already know like what is linked list, like have already been taught you. So linked list, it has two things, that is the previous value and the next value. Okay, so using that we will be doing. So how to declare? So first I'll be taking one main method and I'll be creating a queues. I'll be giving integer data type and I'll make it as q is equals to new linked list. Okay, so this is the method which I am using by importing it. Okay, so I'll be adding the data for that. So for adding the data, what we will be using, we'll be using add method. So to how to add the data, I'll add some 20 and this one has 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 and 10 I'll do. So if I run it, okay, I didn't give the print statement, I'll print q. I'll run this. So see at that time what like for example, see here, whatever the way which I have been added over here, the same way it has been set, right? See, have added 10 at the last, so it is at the 10 is at the last only. So I have added 80, it is the second last, same thing. So it is added in the way, whatever the way we add, that one you already know. So if we, whenever we delete it, so what is the method that they are using for deleting? They are using remove method, right? See, they are using remove method, and also they are using to add add the data into array, they are also using offer method. So let us see like how we can use the offer method. So q dot offer, I'll print as 100. So just I'll add and see. Yeah, see, I'm able to add it. Okay, so I'll be able to add using the offer method also. So I can also change all these things to offer also. Okay, so we can also add the data using the offer method, and you can remove the data using the remove method. That is, I want to remove something, I'll give 20. So after removing, you will be getting here. So I'll just keep this after printing, and again I'll take this print statement and I'll give here. So see, I'll just give a comment. This is before and this is after. So this is before removing and this is after removing. So let us see the output. See, after removing, I will not be able to get. So I have removed the 20, right? So, and what is the use of the pull method? Pull method removes the data, okay, from the queue and returns null if the queue is empty, okay, in the sense. So let us try. That is queue dot pull. I'll remove 20. I'll give 20 and I'll check it. Okay. Just a minute. So I think we are doing something wrong. Retrieves and removes the head of the queue, returning null if the queue is empty. So I'll just pass it inside the, yeah, I'll take one print statement, this, and I'll pass this inside this. And I will run it. See, it returns 20, okay? It returns 20. It why it is returning 20? Because it returns the first value. Okay, they are giving over here. See the front value. Okay, it will return. It will remove the front value. So as I told, so like in the queue, so as I told, while deleting the data, it will remove the first data. I told, right? It will remove the first data, whatever it has been added first. So it will be removing first. So when you pull the data, it will be removing the first data only. It will not remove the last data. Okay. So similarly, the element is there. So element data. So retrieves but does not remove. So it will, element means it will just retrieve the data and it will not delete. What is the meaning of that? It will just display that, it will take the data and it will display you guys, but it will not delete. So let us also check that. So for an example, so see, I'll take this and I'll also print it. See, now it is deleted. So here it is 20 is deleted, right? So what is the data will be? You will not be getting the data over here, that is 20. And now I will be using what is the method that I told, that is element, right? That is q dot element. So it will just retrieve the first data. So it is just retrieving the first data, and see, just I will print the same thing, that is I'll print this line after, this is after element method call. See, after the method of element call also the array remains the same, okay? So the data remains the same, none of the data is deleted. So here the data will not be removed. So here this data will not be removed, but it will return the data, okay? So what is the last method that we have? We have peek method. So it will retrieve but not remove, and the head query. So what is the thing that they are telling? It will return the retrieve the head of the query and returning null if the if the array is empty. So imagine that. So what is that? I'll go for an Eclipse. See, imagine this. I'll take one print statement, and then I'll be giving peek. I'll just peek. So if I peek, it will be same, it will be giving the first data only, but it will return if the array is empty. So imagine this array is empty. So I will make it as empty, that is q dot I'll call is empty. Okay, whether it is checking whether it is empty or not, I'll make it as clear or else just I'll imagine I'll clear all this, I'll comment all this data. Or else I can use the remove all method. Remove all this. I'll comment this. I'll use q dot remove all. See, all the method will be removed. So all the things is removed, okay? So all the data in the array will be removed. So for that, if I use the peek method, it is returning null. If the array is null, see, I'll just, the array is null, okay? So array is empty now. So just I'll show you. After this is empty array, okay? See, empty array it is, okay? It is an empty array. See, you are getting an empty array over here, okay? Q is nothing but we are getting an empty array because you have already removed all the things. That is, you have removed the data, that is you have removed all the data, all the uh, all the data from Q. Okay, so for that only you are getting null. Suppose if you have data, that suppose if I didn't write this remove all method, if I have the data, if I see I am having the data, so at that time I will be getting the first element. But what is the difference between this and elements method? This one will pull the data, but if it will not return for null if the empty array is empty. Okay, so if you want, I'll just write here and I'll show. See, if the array is false, see if the array is like if there is no array, it is returning false, like it is returning some error. Okay, but see if I comment this, I'll be able to run. So due to this line only I was getting an error. So at that cases you will be, if the array is empty and you will be you want to peek something, at that cases you will be using these things. Okay, so just I'll keep this back. That is, I'll take this, copy it, and I'll paste it over here only. So I think you guys understood this. So do you have any confusions in these methods? No. Okay. So coming to our next concept. So here, like you have learned about the what is that, linked list, right? And the queues. So coming to our next thing, so you can also go through these examples, like there are some methods called as DQ, queues and all. So you can also go through this examples. Okay. So coming to our next topic, that is what I can tell, priority queues. So coming to the priority queues. So in priority queues, like how the data will be structured, first I'll explain that. So after that we will be going for the definition. See, in priority queues the data will be structured in these format. So this is one node. Okay, so this is one node, imagine. So this is one node. So this is one node, that is, first I will be storing the data of 1, you imagine, and from that each and every node has two datas that will be connected to two nodes, that is two different nodes. Okay, so 1 and 2. So this node will contain, imagine, 2 and 3. So again these two datas, these two nodes will also contain other two datas. Okay. So this goes in kind of tree format. So how it works, see, and here 4 and 5, that is 4 and 5, and this one, imagine I will end it over here as 9. Okay, so and also this node I can also tell it as what I can tell, I can also make this as mean heap, because minimum heap, because why means I am starting from the minimum number, that is lowest value to the highest value. Okay, so let us understand what is like minimum and maximum first. Okay, so see, from here 1 is the lowest value and 9 is the largest value which we are having, right? So here 1 is the lowest value, that is lowest value, and 9 is the highest value. 9 is the highest value. that we are having over here, right? So this is highest and this is lowest. So this lowest data has two nodes. This lowest node has two nodes, that is 2 and 3. Again these two have two, that is having the data of two things that is higher than 2, right? So this is how this minimum heap, so this one we call it as minimum heap, that is nothing but minimum heap. So this is from minimum to maximum. Similarly, like that only, we also have that maximum one. Okay. So we'll just check that. So how does the maximum one looks? So similarly, like that only, we'll be having the maximum one. So imagine this node is 9 now, and this node has two data, two different nodes, that is over here and here. That node contains, that is 3 and 4. So this is 3 and 4, and again this 3 has another 2, that is 0, 1 and 2. Okay, so this is the way it stores the data. Okay, this is not in the ordered format. Okay, so but while retrieving the data, in the sense while removing the data or while calling the data, it will be in the ordered format, in the sorted format only. Okay, so let us understand in the example, so you don't need to worry about this. So this one we will be calling it as maximum heap. So this one we will be calling it as maximum heap. Okay. So I think you understood this format. Is if you don't understand this one, right? So this, see, you will not be able to understand this concept. See, this 9 has two lower data nodes, and again these 3 node has two lower data nodes. Okay, this is from higher to lower, and the previous one was lowest to highest. So I think you understood this one. If you have any confusion with this tree formation, you can just ask me, because while we are doing this concept, you will not be able to understand. Is it clear? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. So let us move with a proper example after reading some characteristics of this. Okay. So just a minute, I will remove of this. Yeah, okay. So here the first point, what is the meaning of priority queues? They are telling priority queue is a queue where elements are dequeued based on their priority. So based on their priority, for example, what they are telling, you want from minimum to maximum or maximum to minimum, or in the based on what order you want, based on that priority only we will be using, unlike regular queues. Okay, so whenever elements are passed in the order, or we are added, like how that order will be formed, like it is normally in the first in and first out. So that is the order it will be passed in. So and a priority queue also, and priority queue allows the element to be processed based on the priority level. Okay, it is that's what I told, whether we want in the highest priority or in the lowest priority. okay, based on that only you will be doing. So when I come do the example, you will come to know. So don't worry about this definition. You can later go through after doing the example. So what are the characteristics it has? So nearly priority order. Elements are organized based on the priority level, as I told. And coming to the order policy, it's see, as I told, it is in maximum and minimum and maximum. So based on the priority only we will be using. So I will be telling you how to create the for the minimum and maximum also, how to create an object for minimum and maximum also. So you don't need to worry about that. And like just first we will be going for the example itself. So you will not, then you can come and refer these notes, so or else you will be getting confused. So how do we initialize, how to create an how to create a object? Let us first go and discuss that. So I'll be creating a new class called as priority queues. Priority queues, and I'll be creating a main method. Okay, so how do we create a class? How do we create an object over here? So this is how we initialize it. So for creating the lowest heap, we'll be directly declaring it as, that is be priority queues. I'll make it as integer type, and I'll take pq is equals to new sometimes it won't come, I'll just copy paste it. New priority queue. Okay, this is for minimum. I'll take minimum, that is I'll take it as minimum. Yeah, so just a minute, why I came to this page. Yeah, okay, I'll take it as minimum. So this is how you create for minimum heap, that is, sorry, this is for minimum heap. And for maximum heap, how do you create? Minimum heap. So for the maximum heap, that is for maximum heap, how you will do? You will just pass it inside. See here you will be just passing it here, collections dot reverse order. So all these collections, whatever the it has been collected, right, all these collections will be in the reverse order. So we will be using that is the collections dot reverse. I'll just copy paste it from here only. I'll make this as max. So whatever the thing you write using this object, this will be in minimum and this one will be in maximum, because this one have been reversed. So maximum minimum means, so just I will show the example. For that first I will be commenting this or else you will get confused. So minimum means, see, first I will add some data for minimum. That is minimum dot add. I'll make it as 2. I'll copy it and I'll paste some data. I'll give 4, 10 and 30. I'll give 5 and I'll give 9. See, when I run this, I'll give print statement. That is, I'll make this as minimum. That is, I'll make this minimum. So I'll print it. See, it is coming in the ordered. In the what order have been typed over here. In what order have given the data? See, have given 2, 4, 10 and 30, 5 and 9. So I have given in this order. But in what order it has been taken? So first it is taking 2. So this imagine that 2, 4, 9. So 2 is holding this both the data and 4 is holding 30 and 5 and 9 is holding 10. So this is how it will be structured, okay. So I'll also just show you how it will be done. So for that I'll be opening my Accelera. So see, imagine 1 and it is holding another 2 things and this is holding other 2 things and this one will hold the 2 things. So these are nothing but nodes, as I told. So these are nothing but nodes. Okay, these are nothing but nodes. So in the first data, like what it will be stored, it will be storing 9. What is the data it is stored according to our array? It is storing 2, right? So it will be storing 2. It is storing 2 here. That is, it is storing 2. And here, what is the next data we will be seeing? 4 and 9. So 4 and 9 it will store. That is here. Here it will store 4. And here it will store 9. So again this 4 will store the data 30 and 5. That is 30. This will store 30 and 5 and 10. Sorry. Yeah, it will store 10. Okay, correct only. It's correct itself. and it will store 10. So this is how it works. Okay, so in this format only, so each and every node has the two different nodes. Okay, this is how it stores the data. Okay, and see, it has come from highest to the lowest. Okay, so this is the highest value and this is the lowest value nodes it will be storing. So this is how you will be storing the data. Okay, so this is from highest to, sorry, this is from lowest to highest, this is from lowest to highest. Similarly like this only, you will be having from the lowest to highest in the next example. That is, suppose if I make this as maximum, so I'll just copy this, I'll comment it. Yeah, see, if I make that as maximum, see, it will be, okay, I didn't print it. Okay, I'll comment this, I'll copy and I'll paste it. Maximum. So when I print this, see, I'm getting the maximum value from 30, 10, 9. So 30 is holding both 10 and 9, and 9 is holding both, sorry, 10 is holding 2 and, sorry, 10 is holding 2 and 5, and 9 is holding the 4. So like that it will store. So similarly, I'll just also show even that example. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 nodes, right? So here this is the highest node, sorry. So this is the highest node that will be sharing the data, that is 30. Here it will be divided to 9 and 10. I think so, just a minute. See, yeah, it is divided for 10 first and 9, and 10 it will be given similarly. For 10 it will be taking 2 and 4, 2 and 5, and for 9, for 4 it will be taking, for 10 it will be taking 5. So like that it will be storing. Okay, so I think you have understood this concept. So if there is any doubt over here, you can ask me. So here it will be storing 2 and 5, and then will be storing 4. So like that usually it stores. Okay, so if there is any doubt, you can ask me. So this is from highest to lowest. So if there is any doubt in this concept? Okay. I'll just delete this. Yeah. So coming to the next point, so you can also go with this example. Okay, so how to declare and how we will be declaring it. So coming to the next point, that is nothing but the DQ. So there is another concept called as DQ. So DQ is also an interface itself. Okay. So here only, so under this DQ only you will be getting the two classes, that is nothing but yeah, under this only you will be getting the two classes called as array, that is array list and the link, sorry, array DQ and the linked list was there, linked DQ was there. Now under this only it will come. Okay. So here this can, see, this DQ can act as both last in and first out, and the first in and first out. So what does it mean? So imagine this is an array, how we store a data, right? So this is front, right? And this is the end, nothing but rear. So this is front and this is rear. So you can also add the data, and you can also add the data from the front, and you can also add the data from the back. Okay, you can also add the data from the rear. So you can also add the data from here, and you can also delete the data from here, from the rear, and you can also delete the data from the front. Okay, this is what this line means. So I think this is this structure actually you should important. This is very important. Okay, you should understand this structure. Then only you can know about this DQ. So I think this you understood this one. You can also add the data from the front, and you can also delete the data from the back. Okay, both the things can be done over here. So like nearly, like, see here, like they have given some key characters over here. So elements can be inserted or removed from both front and end. So as I told, okay, and dynamic size. So unlike array is a fixed size, DQ can dynamically resize to their whatever the, it can be resized. So it is resizable. So you don't need to worry about, because array is fixed, but here it is like resizable. So whenever you add the data, it will be added. You can also add the data from front and back also. So let us see some example over here. So before that, we will see what all the operations just we will do. We'll be doing over here. So for adding data, we will be using two methods, that is add first and add last method. So if you want to add the data in the first, you can add. You will be using add first, and you will be, if you want to add at the last. So imagine this is the array. So if you want to add from the first, you will be using first this add first, and if you want to add the data from at the last, you will be using at the add last. So similarly like that, if you want to remove the data, or if you want, that is, if you want to delete the data, you will be using remove first and remove last. And to access the data, first data, and to access the last data, you will be using get first and get last data. So nearly the same thing, that we have peak, right? So over here we have peak first element, and we have also peak last. Okay, so if you want to peak the first element, you will be using the first, and if you want to peak the last element, you will be using the peak last. And is empty. So if you want to check whether this array is empty or not, you will be using this empty, and if you want to check the size, you will be using the size method. Okay, these are some methods that you will be using. Okay, so there is one example that they have been given over here. So let us first go through our example, and then we will See, you can also go and see the example over there. So I'll be creating a new class called that is DQ. I'll be creating one main method. So inside this main method I'll be creating one, sorry, I'll take a queue. I'll make it as integer and I'll make it as is equals to new. So I'll be using the concept of array list over here, array DQ over here. So array DQ. Okay. So I've already imported, it is automatically imported. So you can also use the linked list and array DQ over here. So you can use this both the things, that is so you can also use this linked list and you can also use the array DQ. So I'll be using array DQ since I have not taught you about the array DQ. So these three topics will be covered if I teach this. So what all we can do? So first I'll be adding the data. Why is this happening? Yeah. So just I'll first print and show you the empty array. So see, you have one empty array. So I'll add some data, that is DQ dot add. I'll make it as, I'll take this as 50. Okay, then I will add the data at the first data, sorry, DQ dot add first. I'll add 10 at the first and I'll copy the same thing. I'll add, that is 5 and I'll make this as 20 and 30. So imagine here. So see, I have added the data first is 50 over here, but since I have used add first method, it is adding the 10 is added first. So in the array, the 10 will be the first element. So this the first value in the array. Okay. So suppose what if I print the another array same as first. That is if I print 15 and if I see again, this will be the first. So okay, so this will be the first. Okay, this will be the first element. So and similarly, if I make this as add last, if I call add last, so this element will be at the last. Okay, this element will be at the last. I'll just give here and see if I do it is yeah, it will be the last element. So after over till here it will be the last element. Okay, that's how it will enter. So we can also add the data from the first and we can also add the data from the last. So we have added the data. So how to remove the data? That is dq dot remove from the first. So if you want to remove the first data, you will be using that. I will just print after removing, that is you will be removing the 15th data, right? So I will pass dq, that is dq. So if I print it, see, I will be the 15th data is removed and I will be getting the data. Okay. Data is removed. So this one I will pass it top. Okay. Yeah. So this is before removing the data and this is after removing the data. And or else if I pass this inside, yeah. See, 15 is removed. Okay. Similarly, you can also remove the last element. That is, I'll copy the same method. You can remove the last element also. See, the last element will be removed and the array size will be so. And you can also, what is the next method that we have seen over here? Sorry. Over here, that is, we can get the data also, right? So how to get the data and get the first data and the last data? That is using get method. So I'll just take dq dot get first. So it will get the first data. So it is printing 10. Okay. So similarly, to get the last data, you will be getting using get last. Okay, so you will be getting 20 as the data. So let us check. See, I am getting 10 and 20. Okay, so and what is the next method that we will be seeing, that is peak first and peak last, and whether it is empty or and the size. So how to see that? We'll be using dq dot peak first and peak last. So I have already told you the difference between peak first and the peak method, difference between the peak. Okay, so if the array is empty, it will give you null. So imagine, just I'll remove, I'll take one statement. dq dot q dot remove all okay, I think we will not be able to use this. Okay, so and we can also use the size method to check the size of that. So I can use dq dot size method for the size. See, the size is 4, the size of the array is 4. So let us check 0, 1, 2. Okay, the size of the array is 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So there are 4 elements, so we are able to check that. So whether it is empty or not, if we want to check, we will be using another method called as is empty or not. dq dot is dq dot is empty. So whether if it is empty or not, just we will check. If it is empty, it will return true, or else it will return false, because it is not empty. Okay, so I think you guys understood this this class or this topic, I can tell. So if there is any doubt over here, you can ask me. No doubts? Yeah, okay. Thank you guys.